Oh,
Dann Herz umbrachte.
this is such a bad argument. Oh my goodness. Why do people still use this?
Warum holen die
Such a
irgendwelche
bad
englischen
argument,
Dings rein, Bruder?
man.
Guck mal, Innocentius, es wäre erstmal gut, wenn
Oh
du
my
keine-
goodness. Hey, let's talk about the Pope Agathon argument. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
sure, let's talk about it.
Okay, so could you tell me what Saint Leo II says? What does he say when he ratifies the Pope?
Saint Leo II says and Pope.
Yeah, Saint Leo II says that the immaculate.
Jason, wait,
the
Jason,
immaculate-
Jason,
Yeah,
who asked me a
one
question?
second.
Jason,
Saint Leo
Jason,
says
Jason,
that the
Jason,
immaculate
no,
state
Jason,
of the
John,
Romans
Jason,
was
now
tarnished.
talk I, Jason, now talk
MashaAllah.
I, because you asked a question.
Alhamdulillah,
No, you
Alhamdulillah.
asked a question and I have the right to answer. I have.
Kogi hat recht, wartet mal, Kogi hat recht.
Wahala, Jason, if you ask a question, okay, you wait till he
Yeah, I'm
answers.
gonna let him speak. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let him speak.
Yes.
Jason, if you make this again, it's just not a Christian way to discuss, and it's not a intellectual, honest way. Okay. So, Pope Leo II and Pope Adrian II, they say that the judgment, for example, of Pope Honorius, he got condemned because he was in his pastoral care, like not going on his pastoral care, and because of that, it's not nothing which is going against this point of infallibility. We don't think that it means that you have to be infallible in all of your sayings.
Okay, so when Pope Agathon says that the Roman See will always remain unblemished, what does that mean?
That means he is talking in ex cathedra when he is unblemished.
where does he say when he talks ex cathedra, that's when it will remain unblemished? Where does he say that?
Yeah, I can give it to you. It's in content. If you look on the pontiffs in the Latin text, he's talking about the pontiff. So the first point is that he has used his office. It's also in the Latin text. That's the first point. Then he is talking about doctrinal matters, and he is talking about the promise of God and the Almighty promise. So if, for example, Pope Honorius is not saying, okay, I'm using my pontifical office by the grace of the Almighty God in a doctrinal matter, I was quoting it from Agathon, then I could say, okay, we use this terminus technicus from later time to say this is the context. Because if you say no, then you would have to prove from Agathon, from his text, about what he's talking.
Yeah, so Agathon, what he's talking about is that the Roman See has always received the faith immaculately, and never has it fallen into error or yielded to heretical innovations. So my question to you is, did Honorius yield to heretical innovations or not?
I would say he had a pastoral loss because Constantinople III says he has heretical problems. I would say it's no problem for me, but I follow Pope Adrian II, Pope Leo, that he had a pastoral decrease. But I would say even if he would have a heretical problem, I would say it would not target me because he was not appealing to the divine almighty grace, and he was not appealing to say it's okay, it's a doctrinal all binding matter. It was only in the context with Sergius and Sophronius, and he was like giving his opinion, his understanding of it. And we have also church fathers who give in public their opinion, but it does not have to be infallible.
Okay, but
Okay, wait, Jason, I have just to
Yeah,
make
what?
sure, one question. Are you like saying when a pope like Honorius did talk heresy, that this is associated with the extraordinary magisterium, or what?
Well, the quote from Constantinople III from Pope Agathon is writing in the context that the Pope will never succumb to heresy or he will never yield to heretical innovations, but the same council anathematized Honorius as a heretic, so I'm confused. And by the way, what would you say is the opposite of unblemished? What's the opposite of that? Could you tell me? What's the opposite of your see being unblemished?
Yeah, blemished.
Okay, so when Saint Leo says that the Roman See was tarnished and it was inaccurate before, what does that mean? Does that mean the See was blemished or not?
No, because you have to make two distinctions. You have to make like personal blemish. That would be one point. or also the condemnation, like approved on the pastoral care, and you would have to make the point about the infallibility about a doctrinal matter. For example, if you say that you have like someone losing his pastoral care in a very, very important matter, and it is the first time to be condemned, because I don't really know that a pope before Honorius was legitimately condemned. I know that Saint Cyprian and others condemned popes, but I think that Cyprian recanted, and because of it, I would say Honorius is the first case of a pope being judged by Agapho, his legates, and later of Leo II and Adrian II. Because we were already talking about it, Jason, that Hadrian II says it is allowed to go against a pope. He said it's allowed, but the efficiency of an anathema is depending on the pontiff.
Okay, so, but the thing I'm addressing is when Pope Agatho says that the see will always remain unblemished. But when we go to Saint Leo II, who ratified the council, he said that the see was blemished. So
Yeah.
I'm confused. Is the see unblemished or is it blemished? Like,
You have to
I don't
make a
understand.
distinction. You have to make a distinction how I was.
There's no distinction. Agatho said the see.
Okay. I give you one very simple point. One very simple point. Are you knowing that Saint Augustine is saying that someone can talk from his seat and he can talk in his seat, but also to make a private opinion? Do you know this distinction from Augustine?
Yeah, I know this distinction, but
Okay, but why don't you want?
but Honorius wasn't a private opinion. What are you talking about?
Okay, you say that for example Honorius and Agapho did not know Augustine on this matter.
What do you mean? I didn't say that.
I'm just asking.
No, of course they
Okay,
did.
very good. But if they knew it, why don't they make it in praxis?
What do you mean?
Why don't they apply the distinction of Saint Augustine?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
I would say they apply it, and it's good for us, for us Catholics. They apply this distinction, and you would say you don't know why they apply. I would say with the philosopher Karl Popper, my explanation, my theory has a better grounding, because I can explain these church fathers, these saints, knowing Augustine and applying him, and you say they know him but they don't apply him. So my explanation would be better.
Dude, Agatho literally says that the Roman see will never be blemished, and Saint Leo II says that the see was blemished. Like, I don't understand what distinction you're making. It's
Okay.
clear.
Okay,
Like, what?
I just have one question. Do you think that Pope Agapho did ever hear of Pope Liberius or Pope Vigilius?
Of course he did.
Okay, but don't you know?
Oh, dude, the whole point.
Don't you know that Liberius was called a heretic? Liberius was called a heretic and subscribing to heresy by Saint Ambrose. So I would ask, for example, why Pope Agapho would say that there's an infallibility or blamelessness of the seat, and he knows Augustine's distinction. He knows that there were popes who were called heretics, but not really condemned officially and universally accepted. Why should he write this? It would imply that your saint, your 100 years old pope, he was very well educated, and also the latter guys who receiving it, they're just making contradictions. That is your explanation. My explanation has no contradiction.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it's a contradiction. I'm just saying that he was using exaggerated language. But you seem to think that this is simply impossible for the Pope to do. So when that's why I'm asking. Like, I don't understand how you're not seeing this. What was it called? Saint Leo II says that the see of Rome was blemished because of Honorius, and Pope Agatho said that the see will never be blemished. It's a direct contradiction. I don't understand the distinctions that you're making. It makes no sense. It's nonsense.
Okay, then I have a question. Is it a distinction between saying something, just saying, or teaching? That is one point.
Dude, wait, the matter right now, it's not about whether Honorius was negligent or whether he actually taught it. The matter is about Saint Leo and quote Agathon. Agathon said that the sea will never be burnished, and Saint Leo says that the sea was burnished. This is a contradiction. Could you show me the distinction that Saint Leo II is naked in between the sea? Could you show me?
Yeah, I was already seeing it, and you were agreeing it because I asked you, do they know Augustine? You said when you.
Oh my, dude, show me in the text where he's making the distinction, please. Show me.
I would say you would first have to prove.
He's not
that-
making the distinction. You're just being a solstice and reading it into the text. He doesn't
Okay,
make the distinction.
then
He
let's talk
verbatim
about
says that the sea will always be unblemished. Saint
Okay,
Leo
Jason,
II says that the sea was blemished.
I make you
This is,
ask proposal.
this is a contradiction. You're just
Yeah,
being a
that's no
solstice and making stuff up.
Jason,
This is why he gets extremely frustrated talking to you.
Jason, let's just calm down. Just send me the text. Send me the letter of Leo or whatever. And we
Okay,
will-
yeah, I can show you it. Could you make me big screen? Tell the host to make
I
me.
don't have rights in the stream, but
Wait,
the
tell
others
the
can
host to
make
make me big screen.
Can you
sec.
send it to me on Discord?
I mean, you blocked me on Discord, so I can't send it to you there, can I?
Yeah, one moment. How is your name on Discord? Again?
I forgot. I don't know.
Give me one moment. I have to read it on Discord.
You blocked me on Discord, mashallah. But yeah,
Yeah, give me one moment.
Debattiert ihr auf Discord weiter?
Nein, also ich möchte einfach das Zitat dort sehen und wie gesagt, ich möchte auch nicht stumm geschaltet werden. Aber yeah, now you can write me there, Jason.
yeah, look. And I just
Was ist denn so ein Punkt gerade, Kogi?
Es geht um Papst Leo II. Im Zusammenhang mit seiner Beurteilung von Agathon.
look.
And by the way, Jason, why didn't you send me the recording? We can talk about it later. But just send me the quote or the epistle would be better for the context.
I mean, I'm gonna quote from a book.
From which book?
Don Chaplin, The Condemnation of Honorius.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, do you not take him?
Just send it to me. I will look it on it. It's no problem.
Look,
Because you know, which is very interesting, that Pope Leo II, I was also searching for my quote in this one. He says, and in like manner, we anathemize the inventors of the new era, that is, and also he lists Honorius, who did not attempt to sanctify the Apostolic Church with the teaching of apostolic tradition, but by profane treachery permitted its purity to be polluted. So Pope Leo II, I can also prove it through history, makes the same point like Adrian. He was permitting like the pastoral.
that has nothing to do with my point, good sir.
One question. You would say that pollute is something. If I pollute the sea, for example, then it has flaws.
Yeah, if you pollute the sea, then it's defiled, right?
Yeah, sure. And you know, which is funny, he's saying it's polluted. So if I'm using a vocabulary from Pope Leo II, you say it has nothing to do with it, but now you say it's defiled. So please now say, what point are you following? Is this quote I'm giving to you with the pollution in context with your or not?
1 second, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying.
Because are you in the letter from Emperor Constantine IV?
1 second, let me just get in then.
Yeah, because I'm also by Chapman, the condemnation of Honorius, and there's from the letter of to Imperial Constantine IV. It's Patristica Latina 96 4006, and where Leo II is really in content talking about pastoral care. So it's proving my point, and also Pope Adrian II was giving the same understanding.
Okay, we'll see if it's proving your point in a minute. 1 second.
Sure, no problem.
Where is this PDF?
Zane, kannst du die Patristik mal öffnen?
Welche Patristik?
PL 96.
Alle spenden, ne?
1 second.
Boah,
Mal
gucken, du weißt, mein Internet ist abends müde.
Wenn ich sage, dass man keine Leute reinnimmt, dann nimmt man auch keine Leute rein.
Ah, here it is. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Look.
But it's the letter to Emperor Constantine IV. Or which letter?
A second, let me just.
No problem. Don't worry. I also have to. One moment. I will also open it in Latin in some minutes, but it will take its time. Give me one moment.
Okay.
But please send it on Discord, because I'm a very visual type. I have to see it, to read it, to analyze it. I'm not very auditive type. Also, English is not my mother language. I had more Latin than English in school, so.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Bruder, Englische Debatte.
So, would you say that if the sea remains undefiled, then that means it's pure, right?
If it remains undefiled, it remains pure. Yes, sure.
Okay. Now let's compare the two quotes from Leo and Agathon, right? Look, it says, but from the beginning, she has received the Christian faith from her founders, the princes of the apostles of Christ, and remains undefiled unto the end, according to the divine promise of the Lord and Savior himself.
Yeah, can you send it on Discord and please say which letter? Is it the letter to Emperor Constantine IV?
Well, 1 second. So you agree that the definition of unblemished is synonymous with pure, right? The sea is going to remain pure until the end.
Yes, but
Okay, now can we go to what Leo? Look, this is what Leo says.
Yeah, one moment. Just give me the source and give me the letter.
1 second. Let me just read it. Look, this is what Saint Leo says. And in like manner, we anathematize the inventors of the new era. That is Theodore, Sergius, Pyrrhus, betrayers rather than leaders of the Church of Constantinople, and also Honorius, who did not attempt to sanctify the Apostolic Church with the teaching of apostolic tradition, but by profane treachery permitted its purity to be polluted. So if the see of Rome is pure and it became polluted, then what does that mean? Does that mean it's still pure, or does it mean it's defiled? Could you tell me?
I was already giving the distinction, but you were not answering my question.
Oh my goodness, what distinction is there?
I just have one question. Can you say me the Latin context? Because I have the Latin letter.
What Latin? What Latin? This is an English book.
Yeah, and I have the Latin.
Okay, get the Latin then. I don't care. Get the Latin.
If you don't care, you just don't apply.
Get the Latin.
I have it here. But I want first you send me now, Jason, your link, and you say which letter. Because Jason, I asked you 4 times.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll send you the book. No problem.
No, Jason,
I'll send you the book.
I asked you 4 times.
I'll send you the book.
Give it now, Jason. It's the last attempt to ask.
Wait.
If you don't give it to me, I won't give it to you.
I'm gonna give it to you. But
give it now. Give it now.
Yeah, 1 second. I want to show you this quote as well.
Give it just
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm gonna send it to you, but I want to read this one as well because I think it's quite important as well. Look what he says. He says to King Erwin, he says that the immaculate rule of apostolic tradition, which he received from his predecessors, to be tarnished. So he allowed the inaccurate rule of the apostolic faith to be tarnished. So he's obviously saying that the apostolic faith, the apostolic see was defiled. He's not making no distinction whatsoever. He's saying the apostolic see was defiled, which completely goes against the letter of Pope St. Agathon. So this is the big wound right here. It's over. There's no debate. But for the sake of charity, I'm going to send you the source so I don't look like an idiot. I'm gonna send you it right
I
now.
just have one question. Is it from the letter to Constantine, the Emperor IV?
Wait, 1 second.
Oh, you have to know which letter for the context. But if you say the debate is over, it's just your hybris. Because the funny thing is, in the same letter to the Emperor, the very funny thing is, I have it open. He says that first it's an interpolation. This thing, I have the Latin text. It's the first thing.
It's an interpolation.
Jason, be quiet.
MashaAllah, it's an interpolation now.
Okay, you say it's a lie. I give you my camera.
Alhamdulillah.
I give you my camera. Give me one.
Okay,
point.
show me that it's an interpolation, please.
Okay, here it's marked as an interpolation. So you were the liar. You were the liar. That's the first point. And the other point is, if
Wait,
you
what's the interpolation? What's the interpolation?
with the pollution of the immaculate point. That's the first point. And the second point.
That's the interpolation.
Jason, now be quiet. I'm talking now. You
Okay,
can
okay.
talk after.
Okay, yeah, go
The
ahead.
funny thing is, I made science. You made no science. I make science. I opened the Latin text. I was asking you for the source. You were not answering. No problem. I opened it. And in his letter, he's referring to Pope Agapho. Very funny. And he's saying that Pope Agapho is right. So in your understanding, there's an contradiction.
Where does he say Pope Agapho is right? What are you talking about?
Hier. Hanc igitur recte atque apostolis traditionis normam predessor meus agato apostolicae memoris papa cum sua Sidona predicavit hanc scripturas percuras sua suggestionis pagina vestre pietatis.
What does that say in English? I'm not German.
It's not German, it's Latin, bro. I'm letting the Latin text.
Okay, you can speak Latin. Congratulations. Now translate.
Guy, you don't have the humility. You said the debate is over. You were not even showing the context. You were not knowing the name of the letter. You were not reading Latin. You can not making a differentiation between German and Latin. So everyone can see how the debate is over. Okay? Very easy. But I think you could understand Agapho. You were asking, where is the reference to Agapho here, and also in other parts in the letter, he's talking
Yeah,
about
what does it say about Agapho? What does it say about Agapho?
He's saying that Agapho was right about the point of the doctrine. Okay, here, doctrinam, you see this? Doctrinam, okay? And he's referring to Peter and the succession, and is talking about the immunitate, okay? That means the immunity of the see, okay? So one page earlier, it's this. You were not reading this. You were coming with an interpolation, but I can also accept it. It does not care, because your understanding will just make a contradiction of the text. So the problem is, you are reading like of Chapman, his book about the condemnation of Honorius. I'm reading the original letter. So you were just making a superficial argument, not reading the letter. You not even knew which was the letter, to whom he did write it. It was to the Emperor. It's a very important point. So just Jason, be more humble. Next time, please read the whole letter, take the original, translate it, go to the context, and then please argue, okay? Do you do this the next time?
Wait, could you show me where he says that the Holy See is immune? Could you show me?
Yeah, sure.
Where does he say that?
Sure, I will show it to you, but after I showed it, I want that you, in the next time, go more about the quotes and read more like the whole letter, okay? Just not one quote, okay? Is this a problem or not?
Okay, where does he say it's immune?
Yeah, sure, no problem. I give it to you again. One moment. I was already reading it, but I have to run it now. No problem. Agathonus. One moment. I think everyone could see it. Okay, this is the immaculate part. Genau. Petri apostolum principis sine sinceram doctrinam it is agnoscens et immunitate pietatis in hanc signa consecrata. This is, for example, one clearly word, immunitate. Okay, if you don't believe in this word, I can open you.
Wait, could you send me the whole quote? The whole quote.
Yeah, okay, I will send it to you, but I will also wait 5 minutes, because you were waiting 5 minutes to send me the quote. But first, I will give you the Latin. I have here Latin book.
Man.
No, you were just arrogantly, 4 times I was asking you. You were too arrogant, said the debate is over. Now I teach you a little bit Latin, okay?
Okay. Yeah, show me the Latin.
Yeah, one moment. N. So, im. OP. Im. So. So, here, for example, you see immunis. Okay, we have also the English word immune. Okay, immunis, immunis. It means like, for example, someone is not paying taxes. That can it also mean. But it's this is, for example, this is a secular Latin work. It's not a theological, but it could also work for our context. And when it means here like it's immune. Okay, it's like it's free from points. I give you one easy example. Do you know which was the very important point about, for example, a senator being in office? Which was the most important thing for him?
What was it?
It was to remain in office as long as he can, because when he was in office, then he was immune. That is a Roman conception. Okay. And after he was out of office, when he was not immune anymore. That means that he could be accused in law, for example. And because of that, some senators tried to be as long as they can immune, and then maybe to grasp the power.
Well,
and
okay,
they would not
could you
be,
send me the quotes?
Yeah, I can send you the quote. It's no problem. I will give you the whole letter, that you can read the whole letter. Because you said you will read the whole letter, if I understood you right, because it's also a sign for truth. But I'm asking you, Jason, what is this? I don't see that you sent me the quote. So I sending you my letter earlier than you did it to me. But you said you will send it to me. That is not very kind. And that is not very truthful. Now I did send it to you. Open it and go to page 404. And then you have the whole epistle. You read it and you come tomorrow again. Okay, my friend? And please send it.
1 second.
It's from page 400. Okay, just read, please, the whole letter, that you see the whole context, because you didn't believe me that he was referring to Agatho, and then I was showing to you that he is using the name Agatho more than one time. That's very interesting. So please read the whole letter. If you cannot Latin, it's no problem. Just do this in a translator. For example, I don't know, DeepL or other translators can work with it. But it will take its time. It will take its time. So please read it and come back tomorrow or after you have read the whole.
I wanna wait. Where's the specific part about the immunity part?
Yeah, the specific part started, I would say, from page 396. I would say he's starting talking about ecclesiology, about what makes the ecclesia, etc. And then
but where's the part about the immunity part? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the immunity part is more like on 401, 402 following. You have just to if you have a have you the I don't know how to say it in English, but you can making like this one, okay? You write here, for example, imjek, yeah, and then you can find it, for example. That is a very good method. And there you have to write, for example, Agatho, and then you will see when he is referring to Agatho and in which special context, okay? But please, it would be good if you read the whole thing, you calm down, I calm down, and then we talk about this next time, for example.
Dude, what page is it? Like, what page in the PDF?
I did already say the page. It's from 401 to 406, and I was giving you quotes from 400.
Yeah, yes, but the specific part about immunity.
Yeah, he's making the point about immunity more than one time. But I just make you one proposition, one proposal. I would now translate it with the help of a translator and then send it to you. And you can also translate it with your translator so that in the end time we will find together. Is this a point or is this not a point?
1 second.
Because if I give my translation, you will probably say my translation is false. I forged it.
All I want to know, like, where is the point about immune? Like, where does he say this?
Bro, I did already give you the Latin word, and I was already saying the page. Okay, it's probably 406 if I remember.
No, you gave me like 4 pages to read. I want the part that you mentioned specifically about immune.
Okay, I would first say I would have to prove some points. I would have to prove that he's talking about the
dude, you don't have to prove anything. Just give me the part where he says that the apostolic see will always remain immune. It's simple as that, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of points, but a very interesting point.
Dude, just show me where he says it.
Just look. I have no problem to show it. That is the first point. He's talking about Agapho. It's just like for the context of you, and he's talking that Agapho was talking in causa fide, so in a course about the faith. That is very interesting. And he was talking in the early times about the see, apostolic sedis. It's
Yeah,
about the
what page is this?
Bro, I told it 3 times now. I'm now on page 401. Okay, please open 401. Okay.
Okay, 401, right?
Okay. It's for the context, and that is like the first point. He's here talking about the apostolic see in the context of Agapho, and he is about the course about the faith. So it's, by the way, not my invention that here there's a cause of faith and there's not a cause of faith. It's just the normal distinction. And when he is talking about the synod, so the synod of Agapho, it means Constantinople III. And when he goes on, I will jump a little bit. And when he is talking, one moment, I have to translate it. It's because a very important part. Give me 1 minute maybe, because it's really important.
Bisschen spenden. Also dafür, dass ich mir das hier auf Englisch gebe, könnt ihr ein bisschen spenden.
Luca, verstehst du ein Wort?
Also A, ich kann kein Wort Englisch und zweitens, Junge, der Typ, der stottert, dass sein Monitor nass wird, da verstehe ich sowieso nichts.
Aber ich verstehe das Konzilsargument sowieso nicht, weil es sowieso nicht bindend ist. Es ist weder ein Kanon noch ist es bindend an das Konzil. Deswegen kann es.
Auf die Art reagiert, aber egal. And you know what, which is very interesting, if you go on the, I translated by the way with ChatGPT, okay? You can use another translation, but I'm only using this for translations. You can see it here, because I think it's not bad. And if you here, for example, go on the text and use like, he's talking about the Sedi Apostolic, it's the Apostolic See, and he's talking about the Orthodox faith was integer. Okay, integer means also it was not immaculate. But this is only the context, it's more about the synod here. And one moment, and this is also for the context.
Yeah, so, okay,
If you
you
like
still
the-
haven't shown me the part. I translated the part that you told me to translate, but you still haven't showed me, like, where on earth does he say that the Apostolic See has been immune?
Yeah. I have already shown you two times it, by the way.
You haven't shown me. I translated page.
I
I
have-
translated. I translated the page 401, and it's not there. I didn't see it.
Okay, you did translate 401, you did translate also 405 where I'm now, and you didn't find, because everyone can see it, by the way, it's here. You see, he's talking about the Sancte Sedi Apostolic. It's the Apostolic See, the Holy Apostolic See. And when he's talking, that sub orthodoxe fide integritate, under the integrity of the Orthodox faith, it was, and it remains so. That is the very point. And then if you go on 400 and 1 moment, I give it to you. He is clearly referring also to Agapho. 1 moment.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's not about all my goodness. It's about.
I mean, you didn't show me the quote. You're giving me like 10 pages, and then you're saying, "Oh, I already told you." You didn't tell me anything.
Jason, you were not even knowing to whom the epistle was, so I have to give you the context. If I'm talking with a child,
Well, I just want the quote where he says he's immune.
okay. If I give you the quote where he says that the sea is integer, if the sea is integer, the sea is immune. What does it mean?
Well, I'm gonna see what it means by the context, right?
Okay, but I just say if I giving you that with the sea and I was showing it you and you are not opening it, I'm asking, okay, do you have like the abilities to see a quote, identify it, take it and translate it? For example, with ChatGPT.
Okay,
Or
okay.
I don't
Now
know.
give me the quote. Now give me the quote. Simple as that.
Bro, I gave you the quote and I gave you a lot of quotes, more than 100
Oh my
times
goodness!
probably.
I'm asking for the quote about the sea being immune. You said you're gonna give it to me, but you didn't.
Okay, I gave you very good quotes about the sea and the integrity of the sea.
What the hell does the integrity of the sea has to do with anything?
Do I have to? Okay, would you say that the integrity of the sea in doctrinal matters is the same like to see it's immaculate? It's the same or it's not the same?
No, that doesn't mean it's immaculate. What?
Okay, when I would ask if it's a doctrinal case, first, what is your source for it? Because in integrity and
Wait,
in
you're
unity,
saying
it's not
you're
a
saying
synonym.
because you're saying because a C has integrity, then that means it's inaccurate in all its doctrines. Like
No,
what?
you were not listening good. I
No,
would say,
I did listen, and that's
said-
exactly what you said.
I said integrity in doctrinal matters. I said in doctrine.
Oh, okay, so could
Everyone
you give me the
has
quote
like
where
this.
you said that the apostolic see is a neon?
I gave you it 3 times, but you
You
wanted.
didn't give me it. You didn't give me it.
I showed it you. You wanted.
Okay, show me it again. Show me it again. Where is it?
Okay, no problem. Okay,
Okay, what page is this? What page is this?
this is now page 405.
Okay. Now let me go to it and let's see if it says what you say. MashaAllah. Okay. Inshallah.
But can you give me, by the way, the link of your book now? You have not given it to me.
1 second.
Okay, Jason. But after this, you will give it to me. You will not say again in 1 second. I gave you my point. I was after you. I gave it to you. You were not giving it to me, Jason. It's just not truthful. It's not kind. It's not anything. So I want that you give it to me. You have the last chance. I said already you have the last chance. After you were reading it, you will give it to me, okay?
1 second. Let me see if it says what you say.
Weiter spenden.
Goldfield, gib mal.
Spenden oder ich gehe um
gib mal
45
Mod,
schlafen.
oder?
Ne?
By the way, you know which is also funny. Here I said translate immoralitate, and he said it means like unverstümmelt, unverfälscht. It's like unblemished. It's so funny. So even ChatGPT is giving it, and I can also 1 moment try to look on my secular Latin.
Goldfield, gib mal Mod, gib mal Mod.
Du hast Mod. Und jetzt spendet, sonst mache ich gleich aus.
Okay, but would you agree that he's talking about the synod, the sea, and the unblemished thing? He is not using immaculate every time, but he's using synonyms, I would say, in some quotes.
1 second.
Yeah, don't hurry. Because of it, I said we have to read the whole context, the whole letter. It's not about quote man. It's about the whole context, the whole letter. Okay? Because of it, I would say it would be better if you read it by your own, and I would also prepare a whole translation of the whole letter, and we talk about it another time. Is this okay for you, Jason?
Wait, I'm just 1 second.
Okay, if you think that you grasp the whole context of the letter in 1 second, I don't think so, but it's very ambitious.
Spenden. Weiter.
Yeah, bro. Okay, 1 second. This rule then of right and apostolic tradition was proclaimed by my predecessor, Pope Agathon of Apostolic Nunnery, together with the synod, and this, in the pages of his recommendation, he sent to your piety through his legates, demonstrating and confirming it by the testimonies of the holy and eminent fathers of the church, which the present and holy great synod, celebrated by your authority, receives. Okay, and because I said it most fully proclaimed the definition of the right faith, which the Apostolic See, the Blessed Peter, though we are unequal to his ministry, reserves it, has reverently received. Therefore, we also, and through our office, this venerable Apostolic See, with one accord and unanimity, consent to what has been defined by it, and confirm it by the authority of the Blessed Peter, as upon the solid rock, which is Christ. Oh, interesting, the rock is Christ. But it has obtained firmness from the Lord himself. Okay, so where the hell does it mention what you just said?
Okay, I give it to you, it's no problem. I was translating the whole thing, and I will go through you with the whole things. Okay, the first thing, he's talking about the synod, okay? And the Pope. You were reading it, okay? Then he's really saying that here, I don't know if your ChatGPT did translate it, here's about immortalitate pietatis, okay? Here is this like immune or unblemished piety. And if you go on now, he's talking about the definition of the right faith. And then he goes on, referring to Christ.
Oh,
Then
it did.
counts-
Yeah, it did.
One
wait,
moment.
Yeah, it
One
did. No,
moment.
no, it did translate it. Yeah, yeah.
Let me
Wait,
read let me
is
read
it?
the context.
Wait, is it this part? This the now holy and great synod, celebrated by the favor of the Lord and your own, received and fully embraced with us in all things, as recognizing it the sincere doctrine of the blessed Peter, Prince of the Apostles, and as handling daring the marks of uncorrupted piety. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and if you go on, that is the beginning of the quote. If you go on there, then he's then talking about the faith, and he said that there were heretical innovations. That's very interesting. He's talking that there were heretical innovations, but he is not naming like heretical innovations like on the sea, but he says that the sea, and he was also saying it before, because of it I was giving the quotes before, that the sea remained unblemished. It was like he was saying it on page 101, 401, 402, and following. And now he is making it clear.
Well, I mean, where does he make it clear? You didn't show me, no?
Okay, I can give it to you again. He's saying that this apostolic church has not been like being in doctrinal matters blemished, and when he is explaining that, and by the way, this you can also say it's an interpolation, and when he's saying that he permitted to remain it blemished, but it doesn't care. We say it's no interpolation, it's no problem for me, and if he say he permits it, and if he's saying the sea is unblemished, which distinction does it mean? And if he says from Agatha from the beginning in doctrinal matters, I can show
Yeah,
it.
where does he say that?
One moment. Patrum Doctrina. One moment. Yeah, because do you know the context is right? He's writing to the emperor. The emperor is against him, and because of this, he has to show the authority and unblemishedness of the see. That is his intention. Because of it, I was asking the letter. That is a very funny thing, and you could not name the letter. Okay, he's writing here. Yeah, and if you open it here, I can give it again. One moment. Universal.
Ich will nur kurz jemanden ermahnen, ne? Kirai, also jetzt mal ehrlich, ne? Halt deine Schnauze, verpiss dich aus dem Live, wenn du die ganze Zeit gegen Kreuzritter redest, du kleiner Bastard.
Okay. Look here. Here she says pro cause fide. Just write to ChatGPT to translate pro cause fide. It means
What page is this?
this is 401. I would say 401.
Okay.
And he is clearly saying that the context of his predecessor and etc. convening etc. was for a case of the faith. Would you agree on this?
Yes.
Okay, very good. This is the first part of the context. And if we then go on, he's also clearly talking about the synod, etc. And he's also talking about the heretics. Okay? And then, if we go on, he's here a little bit we skip this part, it's not such important. Then he's saying that the Orthodox faith was like, and this is page, if you ask, 404, that the Orthodox faith was like preserved. I can give translations from ChatGPT.
What, the Orthodox faith was preserved in the synod?
One moment. I would say not only in the synod, but I would say, of course.
But he's literally talking about the synod in the context. He's literally saying that the Orthodox faith was preserved in the synod because, wait.
Okay,
But-
there are 2 points against this.
Well,
Because,
oh my goodness, the context is literally talking about how the Orthodox faith was preserved in the synod. It's not talking about the apostolic see itself.
okay, I would say he was referring, clearly you were also reading it, to the Apostolic See, and he was also saying quite clearly to the emperor that he has the authority, etc. I was giving you the context of...
Wait, what does his authority has to do with the fact he's talking about that the faith was preserved in the Universal Synod by the legates of
I give you-
Agathon
I give
and
you
by
a
the
very
Constantinopolitan
good
bishops?
Yeah, I give you a very good answer to this question. For example,
Okay.
if I'm talking with a heretic, and the heretic thinks he has authority, And
Oh my goodness, man.
Just
Well,
let me
what,
answer. Just let me
dude,
answer.
what is the context referring to? You just shot yourself in the foot. You should have never told me that he's talking about the Universal Synod in this context. So you just be you've been lying. You've been lying for 20 minutes and saying that he's talking about the Apostolic See when he's actually talking about Constantinople III. He's been lying for like
I
10
told
minutes
a lot of
straight.
times about the synod. I told a lot about the synod. It's also in the
Okay, so where does he talk about the Apostolic See? Could you tell me?
Yeah, I explain it to you again, and let me answer now because you interrupted me. Just be quiet.
Okay.
Just be quiet.
Yep.
He is writing to Emperor Constantine, and you were not knowing this. And the interesting thing is, he is here trying to persuade the emperor, and how he can persuade that he has authority. He says that his line was unblemished in doctrine, but it was blemished in practice. That is his distinction he is making, and he is of course referring to the synod. Yes, that's right, but it's not false because he's talking about the authority of Peter. I also believe in Pope Gelasius, etc., who say.
Wait, so his line.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. One moment. One sentence. But the Pope is the one who giving the synod like the authority, etc., and Christ is of course the origin. That is for sure.
Okay, so you're telling me he's saying that his line was preserved in doctrine.
What about lying? How do you understand lying?
His like his predecessors.
How lying? Why lying?
What?
Why do you say that he's lying?
No, I said line. Like his line
Yeah.
was preserved in doctrine.
Yeah.
Like
I would say. Would you say
yeah.
it's the line that the succession is?
No, I'm not saying. Okay, maybe I should use a different word. Was his succession preserved in doctrine?
His succession preserved in doctrine. By the way, when Jason was not answering me, my handy was empty, but I was giving him the Latin text of Pope Leo II, the context. I was giving him the Latin word, and he was not willing to read the whole epistle, and he was not even knowing what was the name of the epistle. I was calling him on Discord and say, "Come on Discord," and he was not giving me the source, not coming on Discord, and was just using his chance to run away when my handy was empty. Or what was he saying? What he's saying that he has to go, then it's okay. But if he just
So was this about Pope Honorius?
yeah, Pope Honorius and Leo II and Agathon and the infallibility and blemishness of the seed. My handy accu is now 5%, and before that it was 0%. I was only with the PC calling Jason, and he was not coming.
Ja,
so
Jason
no one
ist
can
back,
say-
Jason ist back.
Er soll eine Anfrage schicken. Was soll ich machen?
Okay, so no one can say that I ran away because I can show that I have 5% now, and I was loading before it, and I was also riding it. Jason, give me one moment.
Okay, ganz
Aber
kurz.
erstmal Geschenke schicken.
Ja, erstmal hat er ganz kurz.
Nobody said you ran, bro.
Redet, der ist ja wie Orthodoxia. Der redet einfach.
Okay, that's good.
No,
Thank
no,
you, but you did-
Nobody said you ran, so it's okay, bro.
Ganz
Okay,
kurz,
that's
ganz
good.
kurz,
I
ganz
just
kurz,
have to turn the
ganz
camera.
kurz, ganz kurz. Kogi, wer soll hier oben bleiben?
Nur Jason und ich, der Rest kann weg.
Okay, den Rest tue ich weg.
Okay.
Außer Amo Polako.
I just
Amo
want
Polako
to
darf
show that I wrote here, and I wrote it also on TikTok. Bro, give me 1 minute. My handy is empty. And when I was calling, and no one was answering. So please, no one has to say that I ran. I can also send you.
You didn't run. You didn't run. No one said
Okay,
you ran.
thank you.
It was fresh, Kobe.
So
Okay.
your question was like about. Could you repeat your question?
Yeah. So was he saying that the Universal Synod preserves the faith, or was he saying that it was the Roman bishops that preserves the faith inaccurately?
I would say both of it probably.
Why does he insinuate that it's not just the Universal Synod?
Yeah, no problem. I will give it to you. But I have 1 moment just to take my book away because my handy has to load. 1 moment. Here and here. If you go here, you are already reading it. He is insisting a lot of points on the authority of Peter and see of Peter. Would you agree or not agree? Just in general first.
Yes, of course.
And my question would just to understand your point, why is he referring to Peter and to the authority of the Pope?
I mean, because he's a successor of Peter. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. He's a successor of Peter. But would you say that Leo II has authority or has not authority through the succession?
I mean, yeah, he's a pope. Of course, he has authority.
Okay, thank you. So he's making it in an authorical context. It's also against Constantine IV, who was a heretic. So it's clearly a doctrinal authoritative context where he's referring to the succession. And if I would say you are right, orthodoxy is right. If all these church fathers and also Leo II, who's not a church father but also a saint, if he would say it was the synod, it was not Agapho, it was not Saint Peter, it was not the see of Saint Peter, then you would be right. But he is somehow, in a very aggressive manner, giving this emphasis on it. Would you agree or not?
Sure.
Okay, and would you agree that this emphasis is in an orthodox understanding problematic? Because you could also say that all like the synod gathered together in a inequality, etc. But no, he's of course a very high esteem of synods. That's very right. But he's making the clear point about Peter.
I don't see where you're going with this, to be honest. Like, how does this prove he's talking about the role of faith being preserved in both synods and the apostolic see? I don't see how you're making
Okay,
a jump.
but if he is mentioning the pontiff and the synod in the context of the immolitatis of the see, then it's both. I don't have to show more, but I can if you like. But I would have to search for it.
Where does he say it's both? Where does he say this?
If he's naming both Peter and the synod, then it's both. Would you agree, or would you need the word both? What do you need?
Okay, so where does he say that it's the how do I explain this? It's the see and the synods that are being inaccurately preserved. Where does he say this?
Yeah, okay, I give you first. It's very interesting. I was reading it already 3 times. He's writing here that the Apostolica sedis beati Petri Apostel. It's the see of Peter. Everyone can understand it. Also, if you don't can Latin, okay? He's saying it quite clearly, and it is a lot of time. When he's again talking about the,
Yeah. What does he say
one
after
moment.
that? What
One
does he say
moment.
after that?
One moment. And he's saying here, per nostrum officium. He's saying through our office. So he is making here the clearly reference I was talking earlier. His office of the apostolic see, it was defined, and et beati auctoritate confirmat. So the authority of Peter was confirming it. So it's quite clearly that he's talking about the authority of Peter and about the authority of the see. Here it's very clear. And then after
But it was the
one
authority
moment.
of his synod. It was the authority of his see that confirmed the doctrines at the synod. Is that what you're telling me?
This also, and then I can also show it because he's then listing the ecumenical councils. You see Nicaea, Constantinople I, Ephesus, Chalcedon, Constantinople II,
dude,
etc.
I mean, no one, dude. I don't see what I would disagree with here. I still don't see how this is talking about the see remaining inaccurate. All it's talking about is that the authority of the see was the one that confirmed the synods.
Okay, I just have one question. If
Yes.
Peter is the bigger authority than the synod, because Peter is confirming it, and Peter is like giving the authority to the synod, why should the synod be unblemished and Peter be blemished? That would be, like I say, the roots of a tree are blemished, but the tree itself is not blemished. It makes not really sense.
I mean, bro, what? No, this is quite the jump you're making. So you're saying because it's the authority of Peter that confirms the synods, then that means that when he's talking about the faith being preserved, it's talking about both the synod and Peter and his successors. No, I don't accept
He's
that.
naming also Peter.
No.
He's
I don't accept that. Just because the see of Peter is the one concerning the synods, I don't think that necessarily implies that Peter's line of succession, their faith is going to remain inaccurate. I don't see how you're making that jump.
Okay, firstly, I would say we were already reading it, but I think your ChatGPT translated it wrong. You have this, or it's like polysemantic, it has different meanings. This you could apply
it's easy applied to Peter the Apostle.
No,
and to
that's a logical jump. I don't. That's an illogical jump. I don't see how you're making that jump.
How would you say the jump in grammar or jump?
But all he's saying is that the authority of Peter is the one that's concerning the synods. That's all he's saying.
Okay,
now you're
but
telling
why? But
now
why
you're
he's
now you're-
using this
now
word
you're telling me that this- Now you're
immortalitate?
telling me that this means that he's what's it called? Now you're telling me that this means that he's saying that both the sees and the councils are inaccurate in preserving the faith. I don't see how you're making that. I don't see how you're coming to that conclusion, brother.
Okay, but I just have a question. We were already agreeing that this little word here is like a synonym for immaculate. Did you agree or did you not?
Okay. So when he's referring to the inaccurate, when he's referring to the faith being preserved inaccurately,
It's
he's
through
referring to-
the power of Peter. He's saying here through the power of Peter. That's
the power-
a funny thing.
it's
It's
the power
an
of
adlet.
Peter what?
Pote beati betri apostolum principes sinceram doctrinam. It's through the power of the blessed apostle Peter, the principes.
Like the what?
Principles, by the way, are a word like for king. Or
What,
also
what
for,
page is this, by the way?
This is page 405. And I was already saying that this et is very polysemantic. You can making this et to another time. The reference is a little bit unclear in Latin, I would say.
What's the word in Latin? Inutiliate or something.
Yeah, sure. And if you, for example, take this word, and give it to, okay, I have one moment to take this away. And now just say translate, okay? Just translate. You don't have belief.
Well, I'm
belief-
translating the whole thing, not just that one word.
Yeah, sure. And he's saying, wait, it's English, because it's somehow making German. Unblemished, uncorrupted, unaltered, unpaired, undiminished, untainted. So it's a little bit like a synonym. Okay? And if you taking this like an genitivus qualitatis, it's called in Latin, then this genitivus qualitatis.
Wait,
would
hold
refer-
on. Okay. Therefore, by the decision and the censure of the imperial edict, like a two-edged sword of the spirit, the error of the new impiety was eradicated along with the ancient heresies. And those who had been the authors of falsehood were cast down with the stain of their blasphemy. They who with sacrilegious mouths dare to assert one will and one operation in Christ.
Yeah,
One
it's
second.
against monotheism. It's
Yeah, I
in
know.
context.
1 second, let me just put my phone charge. Okay, they who with sacrilegious mouths who dared to assert one will and one operation in the two natures of our Lord Jesus Christ, which are united in substance, from which and in which he exists indivisibly and without confusion. This standard, therefore, was right and apostolic tradition. Now, the predecessor Agathon was apostolic nunnery, proclaimed together with his synod. This standard he sent forth in the form of a document or recommendation to your so it was a recommendation, interesting, to your piety through his legates, concerning and concerning it with the testimonies of the saints and the approved doctors of the church. And this very standard the holy and great synod, now celebrated by the Lord's annual favor, has received and in all respects embraced together with us, recognizing in it the pure doctrine of blessed Peter, the prince of the okay. I understand. I understand where you're making the mistake. So I would just interpret this as meaning that since Saint Peter's confession is the pillar of faith, and since Saint Peter's confession is the rules for orthodoxy, then of course, when they concern and affirm the orthodox doctrine, it is the doctrine of blessed Peter that they are affirming. This has nothing to do with the popes being inaccurate in faith, or it has nothing to do with the successors of the popes being inaccurate in their doctrine. Like, all it's talking about is that blessed Peter, since he's orthodox and since his confession is the pillar of faith, then it's talking about the church affirming his orthodoxy. That's all it's saying. I don't see how it's saying anything other than that.
Yeah, I understand your interpretation, but I would say, for my interpretation, is talking that he is talking about the authority of Peter. He's in this words et peati Petri auctoritate, not mentioning the faith of Peter, but Peter as a person. And in the other point, he's talking about the office of Peter, and the office is also practiced through a person. Because of it, he's talking about the predecessor. And if you then go on in the text a little bit later, he's clearly again referring to Peter and again. And then he is saying,
He's referring to Peter and his Orthodox doctrine. I don't see how you're interpreting this to say something otherwise.
Yeah, just one moment, that you understand me in my argumentation. I say that he's referring to Peter again, and then he's coming to Honorius and is saying, nec non honorium, like it's not like by Honorius, and then he's saying, he quam cap apostolica non apostolic doctrina lustravit, sed per sana positione imaculum fidem subverte conatus est, immaculata maculari permissit, etc. Et omnes qui in sua defensit simita anathema, etc. And here, also, if you, for example, read Constantinople 2, I know it was earlier, that is written, if you don't attack a heresy, if you don't attack it, then you are also condemned. Would you agree on this point?
Sure.
Okay, and if Honorius was not attacking this heresy, and also Pope Adrian II, Pope Leo II say they were not attacking it, so it's, for me, more a pastoral manner.
So when he says, and this very standard, the Holy and Great Synod, now celebrated by the Lords and your Savior, has received and in all respects, together with us, recognizing in it the pure doctrine of Blessed Peter. So are you telling me the Roman See, along with the Constantinopolitans, are recognizing the pure doctrine of Blessed Peter?
I would say, and it's very interesting, I can also show it with Latin grammar, and here's, by the way, a translation, and it will answer everything, I think. He's saying, Honorius, he did not illuminate the Apostolic Church with the doctrine.
No, I'm not talking about Honorius. I'm talking about when it says that the Pope and the Constantinopolitans recognize the doctrine, the pure doctrine of Blessed Peter. How is that not referring to the person of Blessed Peter and his Orthodox confession?
Because he's also talking about the predecessors, and it's not only about Peter, he's mentioning Agapho, but we can talk about this in one minute.
It is about Peter, it literally says it right there.
Okay, but why he's mentioning Agapho and he's talking per nostrum?
He's talking about Agapho because Agapho was the one that sent the legates to the council. Why is he not mentioning?
Okay, I just give it to you again, and then I want that we go to Mike.
I just want to know, what does it mean when he says, together with us, it recognized the doctrine of the Blessed Peter? How is that not talking about Peter's Orthodox confession?
No. You're not translating it right. The verse
How
I
am I
was
not translating it right? Is this
Yeah, sure. I will give it to you. I will give it to you, no problem. I told you already that here is it, the authority of Peter. This was the one confirming, not they were confirming. And then he said,
just going to show me where it says that it was the authority of Peter that confirmed the synods. That has nothing to do with the point when it says that the Rome and the Constantinopolitans both recognize the doctrine of Blessed Peter. How is that not talking about?
Just let me answer, please, and don't interrupt
of
me.
Saint Peter? Could you tell me?
Yeah, sure. Don't interrupt me, please. Here's et, and it's a clearly Latin grammar phrase. It's this and that. And if you see here, it's per nostrum officium, and there is a parallel et beati Petri auctoritate confiat. So it's very clearly that his office is in lineage with Peter, and it's also the context of the epistle you did not know that he was writing about the Emperor Constantine.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the specific part you're referring to when it says that the doctrine of Peter remains pure and inaccurate. That's referring to the confession of Saint Peter.
I was, by the way, not referring to the doctrine of Saint Peter. I was never saying this. But
No,
just by
oh
the
my
way.
goodness. Look,
I
when
was
it
saying.
says,
No, you
look,
can look on the recording. I was
hold on,
saying
look.
this. I was saying about
You
the
were
office
saying-
and the
one
popes.
second. You were saying that when it recognized the pure doctrine of Blessed Peter, that is talking about the popes as well. But I want to know how is it possible for the Roman pontiffs and the Constantinopolitans to recognize the doctrine of Blessed Peter. Is he speaking about this in this context? Yeah.
Okay,
shit.
I have just one question.
I'm not gonna lie, I need to go. But yeah, like I was saying.
Okay, just 2 points. Then you can go. This per in Latin, it means through our office. So I see here clearly the first one, but the very more important point is, please read it for the next time. Here is clearly this one. It's on 406. If you take this one, just take this 406 and give it to ChatGPT to translate it. It's very interesting because he's saying, Honorius, who did not illuminate this apostolic church with the doctrine. So Honorius is not using the doctrine, that's interesting, but rather thought, as he was like trying, and it was like his intention through treacherous betrayal to subvert the unblemished faith. So he was trying it. He was not he was allowing it. So in reading 2 and in reading 1, it's no problem for me because it's quite clear. He's not saying that he erred in doctrine. I showed it to you. He's not using doctrine.
Dude, I'm not talking about Honorius right now. I'm not addressing Honorius.
But
I'm saying
this was your original point about Honorius. This was
saying
your
that-
original point.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying that what we're talking about now is when you mention the fact that it's the doctrine of Blessed Apostle Peter that remains pure. You're interpreting that as meaning that it's the doctrine of the Roman successors that remains pure. But I'm asking you, how can that be the case? It's clearly saying that it's both the Roman See and the Constantinopolitan See that are recognizing the doctrine of Blessed Apostle Peter. That means it's specifically referring to Saint Peter himself and the confession of faith he made in Matthew 16, which has always remained inaccurate and will always which has and will always remain inaccurate. It's not talking about the Roman successors, and this is why you're getting it wrong. You're misinterpreting everything.
I understand your point, but I would just say I would translate in a totally other point. I don't know if it's your wrong understanding or ChatGPT in your case, but I think the first case, because I would say the Latin per Officium Nostrum shows clearly that the office is like acting like through Peter. I can really show it in with the parallel with the pair, etc. It's really clear.
Yeah, everything that you showed me, everything that you showed me is clearly saying. Well, first of all, the case about the Roman See having the authority of concerning the synods. I don't disagree with that, because I do agree that the Roman Pontiff plays an executive role in ratifying the synods. Pope Hadrian says this in Nicaea 2, and I'm pretty sure Pope Galatius says this in one of his letters.
Yeah, but
the
in our
mistake-
last talk,
one
we were
second,
not
the
agreeing
mistake-
with Pope Galatius in our last talk.
One second. The mistake that you're making is saying that when it's talking about the doctrine of Blessed Peter being preserved, it's obviously talking about the confession of faith standing firm, and we all seek refuge in Peter's confession of faith, and it's talking about and the point that's making is that both the Roman See and the Constantinopolitans, when the Orthodox doctrine is proclaimed in a council, it's then recognizing and celebrating the confession of faith of Blessed Saint Peter. I don't see how you can understand it otherwise.
Yeah, I would say we can also talk about it next time if we have the whole translation. If you look on his vocabulary, he's using the same vocabulary with Peter, with the Pontiff, so it's very similar.
Either way, I need to go. Sorry, man.
Okay, then next time. May God bless.
We can talk next time. I'm sorry if I got insulting. I'm sorry if I got aggressive. I want to apologize for that. Everything.
Okay, I also. May God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, God bless you too, man.
God bless you.
Ist die Debatte zu Ende?